If you're a content creator or a gamer and you're looking for an awesome mouse at an affordable price, take a look at this mouse. So from SteelSeries, we have the Rival 3. So this mouse is going to have a couple of big things going for it. Number one is that it is going to be wired, and while it may not be as convenient, if you are a gamer, that's specifically a feature that you're looking for, and the reason why is because it's not going to have as much latency as a regular wireless mouse. Well, I guess this is a regular mouse. The wireless mouses are not regular. Number two is that you do have very nice buttons on here for the clicks. The mouse is nicely sculpted. It is going to be quite ergonomic to give you good contour in your hand. It's not going to be as huge as some of the other mouse that we've seen from, let's say for example, like Corsair and Razer. But definitely a very nice mouse overall. You do have obviously an optical sensor on here, and it's rated for 8500 CPI. You have 6 programmable mouse buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You don't have tilt on the wheel, which is what some of the other mouses have. So this is also going to be good for content creators as well, and the reason why is because if you're a photographer or videographer and you're working in Adobe Premiere, you're working in Photoshop, or let's say DaVinci, you're going to have a bunch of things that you're already going to pre-program on your button for different macros or like options. So for example, on mine for video editing, I have one here to save and I have one here to add a marker. Generally, I'll have an extra button on there that's going to be to split the clip if you're going to go that way. Now, this also is going to have some LED strips around here, so you are going to have 3 different zones for RGB, and there's 6 programmable options that you're going to have that are going to be able to be stored on the mouse. So if you're transferring it from one computer to another, it'll come over with it. Overall, very nice mouse. It's going to give you the features that you need, and it's not going to break the bank at the same time. So this is the SteelSeries Rival 3.
The retail box is pretty small, and it's got some specs and other info printed all over it. When you get it open, there's a little cardboard tray that slides out that's got all sorts of stuff in it. There's a Logitech G sticker, a little booklet that says thanks for buying the mouse. The mouse itself comes all wrapped up in some protective packaging to prevent scratches and other damage during shipping. There's a USB cable that can be used to get the receiver closer to the mouse to improve the wireless connection. And finally, there's a standard AA battery. My initial reaction after getting the mouse unboxed was like, I can't believe how small this thing is. It measures about 117 millimeters long, 62 millimeters wide, and about 38 millimeters tall, which is pretty small, but at the same time, it's not ultra lightweight because the weight comes in just a tad under 100 grams, which by today's standards in 2020, especially for mice this size, is actually really heavy. There's mice out there that are this size and even bigger that can come in like half that amount in terms of weight. So this thing is definitely on the heavier side. So if you're going to consider the G305, size and weight are 2 really important things to keep in mind. You got to be okay with a mouse that's more on the smaller side, a small form factor, but at the same time, it's something that's going to be heavier than what we're used to seeing right now in 2020. The G305 has a total of 6 programmable buttons. 2 of them are on the left side that you can actuate with your thumb, and the rest are just on the top. The left and right primary buttons use mechanical switch tensioning that is supposed to reduce the amount of force needed to make a click. And the result is nice, fast, and reliable button performance. On the bottom, there's some low friction PTFE feet, but they're really small compared to what we're used to seeing on a lot of other mice that are out there these days. And we also have an on-off switch, and of course the 12,000 DPI optical hero sensor. To get the mouse ready to go, you have to remove the top cover by sliding it backward. This opens up the battery compartment, and it's also where the wireless USB receiver gets stored. And the mouse takes a standard AA battery, you just have to insert it and you're good to go. Logitech claims that you can get up to 250 hours of battery life on a single AA battery. That's really good, and I think we can thank that super power efficient optical hero sensor for that. And if you want to be able to monitor the battery levels, there's this little LED indicator on top of the mouse that'll start to light up when you reach 15% or less battery life. There's also a digital battery level indicator inside Logitech's G-Hub software if you just want to use that. It's pretty plain and basic, but still better than nothing. And this software is required in order to customize the mouse in any way. So you can set custom commands, actions, and macros. And this is where you can set your DPI settings and also select a polling rate all the way up to 1000 Hertz. And then right here we have some power modes. Right now it's set to low or endurance. And I actually don't recommend using that because it keeps your polling rate all the way down at 125. If you select high performance, that's what gives you the option to select 1000 Hertz as your polling rate. So I always recommend leaving it in high performance mode. The G305 fit my hand perfectly and worked awesome for fingertip and claw gripping, but I noticed that it felt a little bit awkward if I tried to palm grip it, and I have small to medium sized hands, so I think anyone with larger hands, palm gripping's probably gonna be out of the question because your fingertips are gonna wanna drag across the outside of the desk because there's just not enough mouse to fit everything. So keep that in mind if you have large hands. But in terms of overall performance, this thing just did awesome, and I think that's to be expected from Logitech's optical hero sensors. They're just good performing sensors all around. They've proven that time and time again, and there's no difference here. So I tested it on this cloth surface and also just on the bare desk surface, and both ways worked perfectly fine. The G305 keeps costs down by leaving out unnecessary features like RGB backlighting and crazy sky-high DPI sensors, but it leaves in all the good stuff that makes a great gaming mouse, like Logitech's LIGHTSPEED wireless technology, good battery life, and that awesome high-performance 12,000 DPI optical hero sensor. So if you don't care about lighting and crazy 20,000 DPI, you can pick up the Logitech G305. And I will tell you, it's a damn good gaming mouse even right now in 2020.
Hey guys, quick reviews back at today with another review, and today we're gonna be reviewing the Razer Basilisk version 3 gaming mouse. So right here is the actual box itself. It does say here that it is the #1 best-selling PC gaming mouse. The mouse also has LED lights under it, and it also has a hyperscope tilt wheel. It actually has 11 different changing colors, and it also has 11 programmable buttons. Right here on the side, we actually have some functions that it does have and some information about it. Right here, we also have what's inside and what's needed. Right here on the back, we also have a lot more information about what's inside the actual mouse itself and what operates within it. Once again, it has 11 programmable buttons, it has a thumb rest, it has an optical sensor, 11 lighting zones, and a Razer optical mouse switch Gen 2. So right now, I'm just gonna go ahead, open it up, and I'll show you guys what's inside. Alright guys, so we went ahead and unboxed the actual mouse. Right here is the instruction manual, just in case you need any help setting it up. Right here, we also get some very cool stickers. It is the actual Razer symbol itself, the Razer Chroma RGB, the For Gamers by Gamers, and the Razer sticker itself. Here we have the actual mouse itself. It is actually USB connected and does come with a safety plug. The tension is actually really good quality, and it does not look like it's gonna rip easily. Right here we have the actual hyperscroll wheel itself, and also some programmable buttons all over the mouse. Right here is the actual thumb rest itself. It's very easy to use. You can just go ahead and start playing it up. I'm now gonna go ahead, plug it in, and show you guys how it looks. Alright guys, so you can just go ahead, plug in the mouse just like I did in there, and it automatically turns on. The lights automatically come on, and they're very cool, and it has all LEDs right along the mouse. The mouse has a really sick design. It's also very quiet compared to other mouses, and the hyperscroll wheel is amazing. that should pretty much cover this mouse. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching today's review, and I'll see you in the next one.
HyperX Pulsefire Haste. If at any point during the video you want to check out this exact same product, there's Amazon links below. This uses the Pixar 3335 sensor, and I will say if you do look up like the history of this sensor, you will see some like problematic stuff going on. But 95% of that is that companies did not implement it well, and well, HyperX, all of the companies like Razer, HyperX, Corsair, they all implemented the 3335 sensor very, very nicely, so there's no issues at all here, and it's a very good sensor in this mouse. This is a 1000 Hertz pulling rate, 16,000 DPI, 450 IPS, and 40 Gs of acceleration. Now as for build quality, well, it's very well built, and honestly, it's just a very good looking design. Now this uses the hexagon cutouts, both on the palm area as well as the beginning of the left and right clicks, which I honestly think looks absolutely awesome. Like it just completes that look. And it has a little bit of RGB on that mouse wheel, which I will say is extremely bright. Overall, being a symmetrical ambi mouse, so basically the left and right clicks dip down and your fingers fall into them. That makes it feel a little bit more like a ergonomic mouse, but it is still definitely a symmetrical ambidextrous mouse. And as far as texture, this also has a very slight rough grippy texture. As far as grip and just hand feel, this is my favorite. Now for color options, you get black, black on red, black on yellow, and white on pink. I really do like that they have some different kind of colorways. Yeah, looks nice, mixes it up a little bit. I like it. As for skates, these are 100% PTFE skates, and this is my least favorite part of the HyperX. There's 4 small skates, 1 in each corner, and because of their orientation, there is drag both on the vertical and horizontal planes. However, it is not unplayable or offensively bad, and would definitely not be a deal breaker for me personally. But yeah, this definitely could be a mouse that you might want to put aftermarket skates on. It's good enough where I would buy this and then buy some aftermarket skates. Now for the cable, again, an ultralight cable. As for the switches, these are TTC Golden Micro switches, and it has a really nice feel. It feels solid and doesn't feel like there's a huge amount of travel after the click. It's also nice sounding as well, kind of a deeper tone. Now the HyperX's scroll wheel, it has tactile bumps, but they're pretty vague, and it just doesn't feel precise overall. Now, even with the skates not being the best, the scroll wheel not being great, I can't get over how good the price is paired with the grip. Just the ergonomics of this mouse, of a symmetrical ambi mouse, it's just really, really good. Now as for the weight, this is great, coming in at 59 grams. Again, with the RGB, you only get that on this scroll wheel, but it's very bright and nicely diffused. As for extras in the box, you also do get some grip tape as well as extra skates. Even though the skates aren't great, you do get them, which is nice, but yeah. Again, if you want to check out this exact same product, there's Amazon links below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Hey guys, it's Jeremy, and I wanted to talk about the Logitech G502 Hero. I absolutely love this mouse. This has become my favorite mouse. I have 3 different computers, and I literally bought this mouse for all 3 of them, and for a few reasons. Number 1, it's very lightweight, but the most important reason is I like the thumb button options that it has. It has 3 buttons on the thumb, which I use for both gaming and productivity. And the other thing, the third thing I love most about it is this scroll wheel is a button if you push down on it, if you push left, and if you push right. So you got 3 buttons plus the scroll wheel, and you have 2 more buttons right here. So I use this mouse for gaming. Fortnite is amazing. And I also use it for productivity in Adobe Premiere when I'm doing video editing. Now, I wanted to show you guys because the other thing I love about this is the software. It comes with the Logi software, and it's really simple because all you do is plug in the mouse. Once you have your mouse plugged in, you just click on the mouse icon and it brings up your mouse. And it's very simple. If you want to change the keys on it, you click keys, and then you can switch views. So you can go to your side buttons and you just click the one that you want to adjust, and you can just scroll down and set it to whatever keyboard key you want that to be. So they make it super easy. It's super simple to use the software to really customize the mouse to your preferences. And so all you need to know is what is the hotkey in the programs you're using, and then you come in here and set it. And I literally can edit, and I will edit this entire video with one hand. I can literally edit the whole thing front to back with one hand. So if you are looking for a good mouse for productivity and or gaming, I highly recommend you consider the Logitech G502.